Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Advanced. Welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We'll cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we'll give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see it. Let's get straight into it. So, as you guys know, Matt Barnes recently made some comments about Stephen A. Smith about a few days ago, where he was basically kind of reacting to the comments that he made about LeBron James. And in the midst of that, he also called out Stephen A. Smith for some of his political commentary. So for those of you who don't remember that, we want to play that quickly for you now. Take a listen to Matt Barnes here.
So I just saw a video of Stephen A. Smith having an issue with LeBron on a golf course with a bunch of white boys, as he put it, talking about Memphis and how they should move to Nashville. And if you've been paying attention on social media, it's kind of a trending topic right now. I played in Memphis, got a lot of love for the city, but there's no doubt that the city needs to upgrade when it comes to its facilities for pro players. But Stephen A., you shouldn't have a problem with that. You're talking about his words and what they mean to the black community. But you've been the same man in front of the camera for the last handful of months, disrespecting Serena Williams, disrespecting Jasmine Crockett, disrespecting Kamala Harris, and tap dancing for the whole Republican Party. The whole white Republican Party. But you got an issue with LeBron talking about a trending topic, and his words carry weight, and he doesn't understand what his words can do to the black community. Do you understand the talking and what that can do to the black community? We all used to have a lot of love for you, bro, particularly me, because you looked out. But we're not gonna forget the right now.
Great. So you heard that. Now, if you know anything about Stephen A. Smith, you knew that he was going to respond to this. Stephen A. Smith responds to everything that's said about him. Everything. Stephen A. Smith doesn't have any thick skin whatsoever, but he wants to run for president. The guy responds to as long as you're a celebrity, he's going to respond to you, no matter what. He will respond to anything that's said about him. To me, it's becoming it's like, come on, man, you can let stuff go. Like, my God, you have to respond to every single thing. So he put out a preview on his Instagram or Twitter, where he was like, I'm going to be responding to you and blah, 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 blah. Now, usually when he does stuff like that, he sometimes goes on ESPN to use the entire show to make it about him. But in this case, he went on his Straight Shooter show where he decided to fire back at Matt Barnes, and he just went off. Take a listen to Stephen A. Smith going at Matt Barnes here.
Couple of things. Let's talk about LeBron. Why y'all all y'all flamethrowers? You employed by the brother? Why are we overreacting to every damn thing that he's LeBron? He makes news. I report on it. I'm not an influencer. It's my job. It's my job. First Take is on the show, on the airwaves, 10 a.m. to 12 noon every weekday morning. Sirius XM is on the air from 1 to 3 p.m. every afternoon. Forget my political show for a second. Forget the fact that I own my own production company. Forget the fact that I own my own YouTube channel. I just gave you 2 jobs where I'm obligated to address the news. Y'all volunteering. Influencers. I'm a reporter. It's my job. I ain't just sitting up there smoking some weed and then I decide, I want to get this off my chest. Looking like I'm doing one of them Spike Lee videos where I'm strolling on some chair or whatever while I'm talking shit about somebody I'm supposed to be cool with. I'm doing my job. So let me do that job. LeBron James was critical of Memphis. What I said was, because Memphis, the city, is 63% black. And you're talking about the team needing to move from Memphis to Nashville. We know that economically they struggle. We know that once upon a time, crime, pestilence, etc., homicides, murders, thefts, etc., was real prevalent. And then Paul Young came in there and has admittedly and has definitely steered the city in the right direction, and major props to the mayor. but it's still an issue. What I was saying was, knowing how economically ravaged the departure of the Memphis Grizzlies would be, it's not a great look for one of the greatest players in the history of basketball to flippantly discuss the matter on a golf course with a bunch of cats that don't look anything like the 63.5% of the population in Memphis, that the subject needed to be treated with more seriousness than it deserved. That's it. I didn't say LeBron James was awful. I didn't say that he was terrible. I didn't say anything. I'm just saying, because of who you are, might want to be careful. And it warranted that. That's what it warranted. Do y'all understand how this is throwing me off? All the Smoke had me on their podcast years ago just to give me my flowers for who I am and what I've represented. I ain't changed. When I was in contract talks and my money was thrown all over the place and people were speculating about what bag was coming down the pike for me, wasn't it Matt Barnes that said this? Stephen A. Smith is one of the biggest personalities, and we're hearing talks that he possibly could get a $100 million contract as a media member. There's still friendly competition on the side of the game as well, because as the money gets bigger for the game, that means the money is going to get bigger for the media. Wasn't it Matt Barnes that said that? Wasn't it me that had been seen on countless occasions talking about, I want everybody to get their bag. I'm happy that people are piggybacking off of me. I'm happy that you're in a position to get paid. And oh, by the way, don't go by just what I say. Use me as the conduit for conversation to springboard off of so you can have something to say and you can get paid too. That wasn't me. I think it was me. Was that me, Josh? That was me. I did that. Because I'm not rooting against anybody. I'm rooting for y'all. That doesn't require you to agree with me. It doesn't require you it doesn't require you to have your own opinions. This is a conversation about respect. Matt Barnes, you know that on my worst day, I would never talk about you like that. Not in a million goddamn years. Not in a million years. You know that. Why? How? Because I've had ample opportunity to do so, and I never have. Not in your entire career. I've always looked out. I've always big upped. I've always had nothing but profound respect for you. And I got to see you on social media popping shit about me like that? Really? Over some shit about LeBron, and then come to find out it ain't even about LeBron. I'll get into that in a second. But just to make sure that I'm not hypocritical here, what were we really talking about with LeBron? I'm sitting there saying be careful about being so flippant. That's it. Be in a serious confine. Address the issue with the seriousness that it's going to deserve, because it's going to affect the lives of a lot of black people.
Excellent. So you heard what he had to say. What are my thoughts about this? First of all, let's address this. The comments that LeBron is making about Memphis. Stephen A. Smith is on record for years talking about how he doesn't like to go to small towns and small cities. He would prefer if the finals or this game would be in Miami, LA, or New York. That's Stephen A. Smith. All right. Last time I checked, you're a black person. You like to feel like you represent some segment of the black community, and you talk down these little towns too. It's not the exact same thing in terms of what you're going at LeBron for, but you've done the same thing too. As a matter of fact, you and Molly Karam have gotten into it on air, where you're like almost upset that potentially we could have finals matchups. I think we're talking about OKC in the finals. You're like, no, I wish it was LA. Like, so this thing that you're going at LeBron James, come on, man, bro, you do the same thing. In terms of Matt Barnes, here's what I think really struck a chord with Stephen A. Smith. It's not the LeBron thing. No. It's not the LeBron thing. It's the comments he made about the stuff that you've been saying about various black figures. That's the one that's really bothering him. The same way the thing that Terrell Owens said about him on ESPN. That is the thing that's really pissing him off. And that's why he's doing this entire show. He can say whatever he wants, but that's the thing. Because Stephen A. Smith really gets bothered when people call him out for tap dancing, as they like to say. He really gets bothered by it. And that's the fact. Now, it isn't just Matt Barnes that's called him out. We're talking about people from his own community that have called him out. A lot of people of color. Joy Reid, Don Lemon, D.L. Hughley, Roland Martin, I think Van Lathan. So many people that are black now have called out Steve. Even Jasmine Crockett took a subtle shot at Stephen A. Smith. So it's not just Matt Barnes. And if all of these people are saying this particular thing about you, there must be something there. Now, here's the thing with Stephen A. And I think the thing that Matt Barnes is referring to here. Stephen A. Smith likes to fashion himself as an independent or a centrist, however he wants to describe himself. But if you listen to his rhetoric, he's a total opposite. Stephen A. has cultivated a conservative audience by constantly attacking the Democrats. I'll give you guys an example of this. Recently, he did a sit down with Sage Steele talking about Kamala Harris. Is Kamala Harris president? Is Joe Biden president? Are the Democrats the ones that empower? How can you still be talking about Kamala Harris and Joe Biden with all of what's going on in the world right now? How is that your talking point? That's what people are talking about. And that's why it struck a nerve with him. That's the reason he's so fired up and he's going to Matt Barnes for that exact reason. And guess what? You made your bed, you lay in it. You put out this kind of content on a daily basis. You should be ready to deal with the barbs that come your way. But for you to act like you don't know where this is coming from is crazy to me. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave them in the comments. We catch you on the next show. Peace.